Welcome you all for the second session of NestJS CRUD operation creation. Now we will establish a database connection to perform basic insert activity. So I will open the terminal. So already the project is running. Okay, Visual Code IDE. So the entire code is available inside Visual Code IDE. Now I will create a new resources. So I will open the terminal. So click on terminal, new terminal. So I will open a new terminal. Yes, a new terminal was opened. Here I will create a new resource. So nest G generate, G for generate, nest G, res for resource. So the name of the resource is user. So I will create a user management system. So the name of the resource is user. So nest G for generate, res for resource, user. So enter. So which will create the entire CRUD activity. So controller and service for the entire CRUD activity. Whether you will choose REST API, yes, I will create REST application programming interface. So I will press enter. Would you like to generate complete CRUD activity and entry points? Yes, press Y. So the entire project, the required file was created. Please view in the left hand side canvas. Automatically it will create a user folder. Inside the DTO, entities, controller and service and module. Entire thing was created automatically with the help of a single markup. The markup which will be named as nest G for generate, res for resource, name of the resource as user. Now entire thing was ready. So for validating the data, you will install npm I install -- save. So we will install the class validator. So class - validator. So npm I -- save class validator. So this used to validate our data, automatically validate. The validator classes were installed, library packages. Similar way, we will install class transformer too, class validator as well as class transformer. Class validator as well as class transformer. Enter. Yes, now entire thing was ready. Now the step number 1, we will go to the entities folder and open user entity.ts. Entities folder and open user entity.ts. Now enter here and type, this is the entity, so type at entity. That's fine, at entity of. So this file which will be acted as entity file. So the entity file named as export class user. Export class user. So now I will create the first column as ID. So ID is automatically generated value. So primary generator column. So I will choose primary generated column. Okay. Everything which will be displayed in path. Okay. Now the first column named as ID. The type of the column is number. So ID is number. So user ID is number. Yes, fine. So first column which is auto generated. The second column, it's a normal column. So column. So open parenthesis. So type colon. It's a varchar. So varchar comma length. Type colon varchar comma length colon which comprises of 50 characters. Okay. Type colon varchar and length colon 50 characters. This is a JSON value. So placed inside JSON. Okay. Now the first column which is named as name. So user name. I will type it as username colon. This is a string. Fine. Similar way, I will create my next column at column. So the name of the column, which is also type as varchar, comma length colon 30. Name of the column as email colon string. Similar way, the last column at column type colon number, type colon number, comma Length is not required. This is a JSON. Mobile colon number. Okay. Now the entire thing was ready. So first column is ID, second column is username, third column is email, and the fourth column is mobile number. So the 4 columns were created for the user table. I will save that entire file. I will save the entire file. Now I will create a DTO. So I will go to create post DTO. So I will create user DTO. So I will go to DTO folder. Column. There is a folder named DTO. Expand it. Create user DTO. Yes. And now the file is empty. So inside that, I will create ID is an auto-generated column. So don't worry about that. I will create 3 columns. The name of the column is username colon string. Then second column email colon string. The third column mobile colon number. That's fine. So totally I will create 3 columns. So you will test the condition. Username is a mandatory one and it must be a string. So you will check is string of. Check the condition is string of. So whether it's not a string, it automatically displaying a error message. Okay. Similar way, username is not empty. So you will check the condition is not empty. Okay. If you are giving empty data in username, which will display an error message. Similar way, email ID, I will check at is email. So whether the email is not in proper format, which will display the error message. Similar way, mobile is number. If you are not entering number, it will display if mobile phone. So if you are not entering mobile phone number, which will display error message. Whatever needed is mobile. Shall I give is mobile or is number or is phone numbers? There are several options are available. Anyway, I will choose number only. Okay, is number. So several set of class validators are available. Whatever needed, you can use that. Fine. Now the DTO is ready for testing. For testing your data, I will create a DTO. So the entire DTO is ready now. Now I will go to my service file, user service file. Here automatically, which create the entire create, find all, find one, then update, entire thing was automatically created. So now our duty is to create user data, get a user data and insert it into a database. Okay. So I will go to my constructor first. So here constructor is not available. So you'll create a new constructor. So it's mandatory one. So constructor, will create a new constructor, open the same. Inside that at inject repository, So name of the entity. So name of the entity is user. Okay, name of the entity is user. So then private, it's a private variable, read only, anything, not a problem. Anyway, I will use private read only. So you will create a new repository named as user repository. I will create a new repository named as user repository. Okay, so this is what a new constructor was created. Yes, save the file. So inject repository user, then private read only user repository. I will create a new repository. Yes, fine. Now I will use create data. So create data which will return the user value. So promise what promise? It promises that data which completely rely on user value. So user entity. That's fine. So it's completely rely on user entity. Now the insert operation, insert operation. I will type just 2 lines. So constant, I will create a new constant variable that is user. colon entity named as ucaps user, okay, which is equal to new user. So I will create an object which directly pointing the user entity. Create an object, that object which directly pointing user entity. Now I will type user dot username. First column is username, which is equal to user dot username, which is equal to what's the object name? Create user DTO. I will copy here. Create user DTO dot username. Whatever value read from user, you can store it here. Similar way, user dot email, which is equal to create user DTO dot email. Similar way, user dot mobile equal to user DTO dot mobile. Yes, fine. So entire thing was read. Now you can save that. I remove this. You can save using a markup. You can save using the markup. The markup named as this dot user repository dot save of the entity named as user. So entire user entity which passed and saved. Now entire things works fine. So DTO was ready. Now user DTO was ready. Now you can go to your module, that is user module, and check that is user controller is available as well as user table is available. You can import things. So import, you can import things. So import colon, that is TypeORM module, dot for feature dot, sorry, comma, not comma, for feature. I will add the entity. So the name of the entity is user. Yes. At last I will place a comma. Imports. Yes. Now entire things works fine. Now you can go to your app module component. Now you will go to your app module component. I will type, I missed the entity. So I will type that entity name. What's the name of the entity? User. Okay. Save. Now you will go to your controller, that is user controller, entering into user controller. So which automatically call, what's that? Which automatically call that entity. So no need to change anything. Now the entire things works fine. I will go to my code. I will stop this. Clear. I will execute again. Which display error message. So I will change here in the user entity, the type of the database, type of the variable mobile is not number, because in Postgres there is no data type called as number. So I will change it into integer. Now the entire things works fine. I will test this. I will go to Postman. I will go to Postman. I will choose here. What's the name? User. What's the method? Post method. Yes, fine. I will click the body tag. Raw data. I will type it here. Postman, post localhost colon 3000 / user. I will type this raw data. I will click send. Choose the raw, the type as JSON. Then I will execute the same, which inserted into database. So entire thing which inserted into database. So entire things works fine. So you can create an entity and then create a service file. Then the repository was created. The entire data which inserted into database. So the CRUD operation, the first activity is insert activity. So now the insert activity is completed. The next video we'll see about the select query and delete operation and update operation. Thanks for watching. Thank you.